As the NATO forces in Afghanistan withdraw, the Taliban are gaining ground. The militants say they've taken more than 10 districts over the past day. They now control about a third of the country. Meanwhile, it's been confirmed that the US military left Bagram airfield, its key base in Afghanistan, without notifying the Afghans. Well, let's go straight to Kabul now and speak to our chief international correspondent, Lise Doucette. Lise, over to you.
Yes, day after day now over the past week, there have been reports of dozens of districts tumbling to the Taliban right across Afghanistan. But today the government is pushing back, trying to seize control not just of the districts that it's lost on the ground, but taking control of the narrative. The top security advisor, Hamdullah Moheb, addressed the journalists here in Kabul and accused the Taliban of waging an undeclared war. He said now that all of the foreign forces have left, what reason is there to keep on fighting? In a moment, we'll speak to a former Afghan member of parliament who's met the Taliban and has also been attacked by them. But first, let's just see what's been happening in the last 24 hours with this report from our Afghanistan correspondent, Sukunder Kamani.
The Taliban have been advancing rapidly across Afghanistan. In some areas, under-resourced government forces have surrendered or fled. In others, the insurgents have faced stiff resistance. The group is now in control of around a third of all districts, but Afghan officials are vowing to launch a counter-offensive.
It's war, there is pressure, sometimes things work in our way and sometimes they don't. But we will continue to defend the Afghan people. We are also very grateful to the large amount of support rallies that the people of Afghanistan did, and there are people coming out ready to recruit, ready to join the forces to defend their country throughout.
Bagram was America's largest base in Afghanistan. It's been handed over to Afghan forces as nearly all international troops have been withdrawn from the country. Officials here claim they weren't even warned when exactly the Americans were leaving. US airstrikes had been a key weapon in holding the Taliban back. Now they're largely stopping. Afghan officials are still trying to sound positive.
This is war. In a combat, everything is possible, and nothing is stable. But the point the main point is the people or the government goal is mentally they don't want Taliban, physically they don't want Taliban, from the religious type they don't want the Taliban.
Underlining the pressures on Afghan forces, last night neighbouring Tajikistan ordered thousands more troops to the border after hundreds of Afghan soldiers fled across it in recent days. Many fear come September and the formal deadline for the withdrawal of remaining foreign forces, the Taliban's military offensive will only grow even stronger. Sikander Kamani, BBC News.
So fears of an intensifying war. Let's look at the present situation and look ahead. We're joined by Shukriya Barakzai, a former member of the Afghan parliament. Shukriya Barakzai, all of these districts being overrun by the Taliban, how worrying is that?
It's a very worrying message for the people of Afghanistan and plus for the international community that the terrorist group with the name of Taliban are taking and regaining power in Afghanistan. It's also, I can say, shame on our government because they are not really ready to put themselves in a correct position. Being a defensive idol, it's the weakest position they are taking these days.
You don't have confidence in them? You used to head the Parliamentary Committee on Defence.
Yes, I was head of Defence Committee, and that's why I know the capacity, capability and moral of Afghan soldiers. They're brave, they're well trained and they're well equipped. But that's important with a poor leadership. We are throwing on the ocean all those capacity which has been made during the 20 years.
Now, you call the Taliban terrorists, of course, but they are Afghan. They say they've changed. They say they want a peaceful solution in Afghanistan. You've had discussions with them. Do you believe them?
I had a discussion with them, and when I say terrorist, I could not find a better name for the people where they're killing innocent people in Afghanistan. They're attacking on school, universities, mosques. How I can call them, they're good people. When it comes to change, I wish they will be changed. As a Democrat with a strong belief of freedom of expression and political different points of view, I would love and I will ask Taliban to, even still they have a little bit of opportunity to do ceasefire and come for the negotiation table and talk for peace. But with the current situation that's going by war, violence taking places, and plus people are going to be displaced from those areas that Taliban control. It means nothing changed, neither their opinion and neither the way they are thinking about the Afghanistan. They believe their thought is the key of success. No, today Afghanistan is much different when Taliban came and take power in 1996.
And briefly, the Taliban say they're going to present a plan for peace in the coming days. They are talking in the Gulf state of Qatar. Is there any chance of peace?
I wish. I'll pray. But I can't see any window for peace to be open with a great light. It's hard to find a light at the end of that long war tunnel in Afghanistan. But I wish with the international pressure, they will sit and they will be a good guy.
Shukriya Barakzai, good to talk to you again. Yes, using that expression, the light at the end of the tunnel. It's been a 40-year tunnel here in Afghanistan. And when the US-led invasion toppled the Taliban in 2001, few would have expected that this would be the situation now in Afghanistan. The foreign forces leaving and the Taliban on the advance. We'll continue our special coverage from Afghanistan, but now back to you in London.